What is up, guys? Welcome back to the shop. Couple new additions since you guys were last in here and since I was last in here with you. Bought some quick jacks, tested them out on my 911. They work pretty good, I guess. Today, I finally had time on a day when the metal shop wasn't closed to place an order, get down there, grab the metal to make the cradle for the 5.2 that's over there. And some stuff came in the mail not too long ago, just before Christmas, and I'm really excited to show you guys. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the 911 off the quick jacks and out of the garage, and then we're gonna bring the Mustang in, clear some stuff up, and then we're gonna get to work, burning together a cradle for our 5.2. I just got some 2-inch box steel that it's 1/8-inch wall. I'm just gonna make a simple like square 4-post, 2 stands, and then that's how we're gonna support it to do the clutch, do a couple other little nitpicky things and clean it up. And then we'll start thinking about tearing apart the Mustang. Anyway, I'm gonna get going on this. I'm gonna throw you on time lapse, mess around. We'll get the Mustang in here, and we'll start working on some welding. All right, here we go. All right, I had to tidy up and stuff in here. It was an absolute disaster from working on the scooter and stuff over the last few weeks, which you haven't really seen. There it is, it runs. So now, pardon my hiccups. So now I'm just setting up the welder. I gotta pull the non-gas wire out and put the gas wire in, and then turn it all on, get it ready, and put my grinder up there, and then we're gonna start cutting some tubes. Box tubing, I guess, square tube, I don't know what you wanna call it. So I've got 1/8-inch wall, mild steel, or whatever. Don't really know the composition of it, but there it is. We're gonna make a frame out of that stuff. So what I did is I just basically drew it out as a square bottom, 4 legs, equal length, and then 2 cross members that the motor will sit on top of. So I'm gonna try and at least get it situated on there. Anyway, so I'm gonna set up the welder, and then we're gonna start measuring and getting all the angles and cutting. Gonna be very time-lapse heavy because I just wanna get this done, so I don't really wanna jabber on and bore you too much. it is getting down to the time where I gotta shut down because it's late and it's getting noisy. I actually wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, and I spattered the, you can probably see with some of the weird streaks and stuff, but I spattered the protective lens on the GoPro with the sparks from the grinder, which is not very smart, and it actually pocked the shit out of the lens cover. So ordered a new one and a protector for it so that if I do it again, which I hope I don't, I can just peel it off and put a new one on. So that was pretty dumb of me. My hair is all kinds of fun right now. Anyway, took a lot longer than I thought. I was also like trying to set this up properly because it's my first time using this particular welder. I was using like my FluxCore welder before. And I have to say, holy shit, forgot how much easier it is to MIG weld over like FluxCore welding. Much cleaner welds, no spatter, you know, it's not as hectic. I didn't do the best job with these ones, but like that one turned out pretty damn good. And I've got some good penetration and good heat going into the metal. So, and this is really not too structural. This is the base plate, and then the cradle is going to come up like these posts are going to kind of come up like this and that, and then we're going to have another cross member up here that the motor will sit on. So should be pretty good. But this is what happens to me on Saturdays. I go out in the morning, try and get all this stuff together, and then I just run out of time. I need another day in the week. I honestly do. I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way. So anyway, I'm gonna make these last two cuts on the final piece here, and maybe I'll burn it in. We'll see. I don't want to make too much noise and piss off my neighbors. I'm a little paranoid about it because, you know, this thing's not exactly quiet, so I don't want to really push my luck. Anyway, so I'm gonna make these two cuts and pop it on. I'll take that. Not bad. Okay, it's pretty well it. Just gotta zap the two other sides, but you get the idea. All right, I also said in the beginning of the video that I had some stuff to show you, so for the sake of ending off a Saturday night in good spirits, I'll show you what I got. Ta-da! Boom! From the good folks at McLeod, we have the RXT twin disc for 2019 GT350. I have a twin disc RXT in the Mustang right now with the Coyote and the MT82. I know what you're thinking. Can you just bolt it up? Same thing. No, the flywheel on a GT350 is different, and the pilot bearing and everything, and the splines for the clutch are different as well, if I remember correctly. That might be the part that I'm missing, I can't remember. Cloud clutch is really good. They're great value. They're really well put together. They're made in America. So this is the first cool part that I showed you. I really love this clutch. I mean, it's kind of sad that you have to cover something up this beautiful with a transmission, but it does its job really well. I really love these clutches. Cannot thank Lethal Performance enough for getting it to me so fast, even though it's now been sitting in here for like close to a month. I always do that. I'll express order shit. I'm like, I want it here, and then it sits in the garage for like ever. Just an idiot that way. Anyway, close the box here.
This is a Barton Hybrid 3 flat stick for the TR3160. So something like that. Got our little shifter ball here. Now, initially, I was stupid, and I thought that the Barton in my car, this guy here, I love this shifter. It makes my transmission feel like it's actually worth money. I thought it was gonna fit the TR3160. Turns out I'm an idiot again. There's the theme here, guys. This is what you need because these are direct mount to the linkage on the transmission. They're not a remote mount like an MT82. Yeah, so this is a really nice piece, all billet aluminum, really nicely machined. It's a little dirty from sitting in the dust, but it's a push down lockout, which I love. Retains that instead of having the collar, which I hate. And it's gonna be banging gears on that TR3160 pretty nicely. I'm very excited. So yeah, a couple parts came in I'm really excited about. Anyway, I'm gonna do a slow time-lapse fade out to me finishing up the welds on this thing, and I'll see you in the morning. If not the morning, afternoon, sometime next day or two when we finish the cradle, get the motor on it. Do what I said I was gonna do for once. All right, later.
Years later.
Welcome back, guys. So it's been a few days since I was working on the cradle. Of course, phone rings, like it's in the way, whatever. Gonna jump right into it. I did a little bit of stuff off camera. Started tacking on the uprights. I actually got that one fully welded around last night just to make sure I have a good starting point for square. And then today I've been cleaning all the bars and getting them ready just to finish this thing up. So these are all tacked. I gotta finish up the welds around here. And I'm gonna start by tacking this crossbar in so that we have a nice square setup to weld everything true. And then it will be less likely to shift as long as everything is stuck together. And then we'll go over the other side. And what we have to do over there is kind of fish mount the bar so that the top bar kind of sits in there and gets a little bit tighter. I can actually do this one a little bit better. But you see it's got that little I indented it a little bit just so that we can get it to sit. And it has a little bit more grab onto it. Instead of welding like a giant gap, it's gonna be more likely to crack. So that's where we're at. I'm gonna throw the GoPro up on the bench and we're gonna get right into it. All right, so I had a bit of a mishap. I burned right through here. This gap is way too big. So I got a hole like right where that big booger is. So I just kind of tacked in and filled it up. I'm gonna grind this all down and start again because it's absolute ass. These things happen. I'm not the most experienced metal sticker together guy, so oh well, redo. That's way better. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Just gotta grind it off and fix it sometimes.
So I learned my lesson with that post. These gaps are just a little bit too large. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stack a bead on the bottom, and then I'm gonna do a whip and close it up like that. It's not gonna be perfect. Only using it once, I hope. Okay, so cradle's all welded up. I've got my fill of welding for the week. It's a lot of work. So what I'm gonna do now is get the crane set up, get the bolts and the chains ready for the motor, and we're gonna plop it on here. Engine on the cradle, on the cart, so we can move it around instead of having to lift it up and do all that garbage. And it doesn't look like much in terms of steps to putting a motor in the car, but it's a big step because now we actually have a service to work on the motor like safely and somewhat conveniently, do the clutch, do all the plugs and wiring that needs to get fixed. I'm a happy guy right now. I just needed like more than 5 minutes to figure some of this shit out and get the welder going, and now we're good. Anyway, I'm gonna put on time lapse. We're gonna do some cleanup. I gotta move my quick jacks out of the way. By the way, don't know if I went over this, but I got quick jacks a couple weeks ago. Set them up, tried them out, they look great. They're gonna come in really handy for doing the swap because, like I said before, we don't have a hoist. We're not gonna get a hoist for this. My ceiling is not high enough. So we'll be using quick jacks. Anyway, time lapse, crane, motor on cradle. Let's go. Measured all this, I was just kind of looking at the width of the motor mounts, height where I wanted the motor to sit so I could work on it, and then the length. What I didn't do, because I'm stupid, is realize that, hey, this plane here where the motor mount sits is above where the alternator sits. Anyway, I didn't really want to take the alternator off, to be honest. I mean, the belt's shredded. I guess I just cut the belt, take it off, deal with it. It's another thing to put back on later. I should probably just do it. I should probably just take the alternator off. I think I'm gonna do it. Okay, it's on the cradle. I had to set it back to clear the oil filter, which didn't want to take off and piss oil everywhere. I also have to do an oil change on this while it's on here. And an oil pan, so it's all gonna work out. You can see the damage there from where the cross member backed into the oil pan. So that's it, 5.2's on the stand. I've still got a provision for motor mounts, but honestly, it's pretty stable right now. And stand is quite stable as well. I'm pretty excited. It's on the cradle. Now we can do a clutch, we can fix the oil pan, do an oil change, get it all prepped, and then put it in there. I just need you to push position apart when I lift this side up. So. Okay, well, 5.2 is on the cradle, just like I wanted it. I had pipe dreams of actually like mounting pegs and stuff in here, but C-clamps are gonna do the trick just fine for now. So this is gonna work. Next time we're gonna put the clutch on, we're gonna put the shifter on the transmission, and we're gonna start. We're gonna pull off this plug. We're gonna go forward, get that plug. I had an oil cooler and lines on order, these lines. And the recall lines as well, because apparently these were recalled for vibration shocker. So I've got a cooler and lines on backboard. So 2 major pieces of the puzzle that we need. They're not gonna be here for a while. So I'm gonna try and source a couple locally, see if we can get something quicker, and all the little odds and ends, get this thing done as fast as we can, because I want it ready for maybe Power Tour this year. That's kind of my goal. That's why I've kind of got this new motivation to go, is because I want to go on Power Tour. I want the car to have a 5.2 in it. So time will tell if I can get my shit together. Anyway, guys, thanks for tagging along this episode. I know it's been like kind of jumping around, but slowly but surely we're getting after it. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe, leave a comment, do all that fun stuff. Follow me on social media. All right, I'll see you on the road. Have a good one.